It's like I said to Josh, it's so sad. It's humbling. Embarrassing? I don't know what the right word I'm looking for is when you play a certain rule your entire career in D&D and then someone's like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. And you just go, it's like Tina from Bob's Burgers. Just,
Are we live? Wow.
Welcome, everyone.
Are you talking to Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Use your nose a little less.
Welcome, one and all.
I just want to wish everyone a happy new year.
Shut up.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. And we are back.
Are we?
Just like that.
Just like that. What do we want to talk about pre-show? We want to talk about Tyson?
Yeah,
Please no.
Please no. We only got a couple options. What? It's Tyson, Nazis, or Caitlyn Jenner. Those are Tyson's Nazis. 3 favorite intros.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I was screaming about the Nazis last episode.
I like to talk about myself. I like to talk about Nazis. And I like to talk about transgenders. It doesn't really offer us a lot.
Just Caitlyn Jenner. Other transgender people are cool. He's just a terrible person. Terrible person. Whatever you want to call it.
I feel like sometimes starting you on these tangents isn't the best, but it's all good.
Gets those views. Call me a martyr.
Rogar, take us on a journey. How have you been, man?
And that's Rogar.
Well, I recently stopped seeing this girl, so there's that.
The fine ass bread lady?
No, in real life.
Oh, that's good.
Shit. You stopped
So
seeing.
he's single, ladies.
Okay, no. This is I want the deets. What's going on?
Men.
Why'd you guys break up?
Are we doing this live? Okay.
It's a long story, you know? It's for another time.
Is this the girl that you would sometimes text and her name was Xbox Girl?
Yeah.
That's all I need to know to tell me about.
She's real, I swear.
To tell me about what kind of relationship it is. That's all I need to know. Her name was Xbox Girl. It all started New Year's 2018.
No, it started Canada Day, actually.
Yeah, come on, Noah.
Oh.
The most romantic holiday.
We started talking before that, but we met up on Canada
Day. Canada Day. It is. There's
it's a long
average
story,
fireworks,
but,
light drinking.
It's a long story, but
gets the women wet and the men hard.
There's some heartbreak in there, you know.
Some heartbreak, shit, man. Do you feel up to playing? You feel like you're gonna be able to portray Rogar Ragnak?
Oh, this happened like a week ago, so I'm good.
Last week he wasn't up to playing.
Now he's got PS4 girl on his phone.
Yeah,
it's PS4 dude.
Sorry,
it's a better one
because he's not sure.
You know what though? It's a better console. It's a better community. I think you'd like PS4.
Fuck that.
PS4 girl. Getting controversial now. Let's go back to transgender.
Yeah, let's cool it down here, boys. Let's talk about something we can all agree on.
Let's start with the outro.
How come you always intro, Noah?
I'm the DM. Yeah. I think it's just kind of what I do, but I'll throw it out to anyone else who wants to do it.
Go, Sab.
No.
You were asking for this just a few minutes before we were live.
You said, please, I'll suck a dick for this.
My voice is too monotone for it.
I want more responsibility on the pod.
All right, Sab, we'll give you a few more lines. This is too much. I can't handle the pressure.
I want him to crack, just like a news anchor just cracks right before he has to go live. Now, come on, Sab, you got this.
We don't even tell him how many listeners we have. He'd fall apart.
Yeah.
Rogar is gonna pass on this one. Maybe another time.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe
he's got to write a script.
Maybe another
Whether
time.
It's noon, evening, morning, or daytime. Thanks for joining us today for the live stream.
Whether you're on the moon, Mars, or the
my anus,
or the Mediterranean Sea.
Or the sun.
Those are all variants of the sign off. We're doing the sign on here. Maybe we need Shane in the background to just have those big cue cards just for Rogar.
He does. You think I come up with Tyson shit? Shane writes it all.
I want it to be
this
for
isn't
like
improv at all. It's all scripted.
I want it to be for like the most mediocre stuff. Like Tyson and Rogar having a conversation. Tyson says, well, what do you think, Rogar? And Shane just holds up cue cards, and Rogar's like,
It just says,
But he's quickly scribbling down on a whiteboard.
Next card.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dicey D20. My name is Noah, Dungeon Master, and I am joined here by our players. We have Tyson, McKay.
what's up? Still alive. Can't get rid of me.
Yeah, we introduced the guy
No matter
first.
how hard you try.
We introduced him first because the guy made it through the thick and the thin, and he's back in the fray. How does it feel, man?
Yeah. Tyson's thick as fuck.
Okay, moving right along.
Like his ass.
No, he's actually very thin. The clothes hang off his skeleton.
Yeah, looking a little worse for wear, but nonetheless stabilized. We also are joined by Rogar Ragnak.
Yo.
Yeah, Rogar back in the house. Rogar, you had to say a pretty emotional goodbye last time to Tyson McKay, and now
Yeah, you did. You said goodbye.
It was something, alright. I don't know what I call it emotional.
it was something, all right. Rogar, what would you like to do? I'd like to look for clues. And we're just like, this isn't Scooby-Doo. You had a week to do this. Now you're waiting until
Well, you don't give up that easily.
But my favorite part was he goes to see Wolfhelm. Wolfhelm doesn't help. He goes back to Tyson. Rogar, what do you want to do? I'll go back to Wolfhelm. Like, that was his first thing, and then we all went, no, Rogar, no.
And then the only one who can save me comes and he goes, he's dead. You can't save him.
I laughed so hard at he's dead. He's dead. We are also joined by Laina of the Iron Wolves clan. Laina, what's up, girl?
Hey, nothing.
Oh, that's something new.
Yeah, usually
I
she
know,
just
I
goes,
couldn't say good that time. He's shaking up his questions.
Yeah, that's part of my...
He did on Beverly's face. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's part of my plan now. I don't like it when Laina just says good to me at the... Hey,
Yeah, but I
Laina,
think
how's
it's
it going?
good.
Good. And it just gives me nothing to work off of, so now I'm just going to start asking more and more complex questions.
What are you up to, Laina? Good.
I mean, yeah, it's not a foolproof plan. She could still say good. I just...
Catch her off guard once in a while.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen...
I'll answer questions, just I never get asked those questions.
Okay, fair enough.
What's your favorite first date idea?
Good.
What's my first great idea? Is that what you said?
First date idea.
First date idea?
Yeah.
I like, well, Shane and I
was talking
went to
D&D.
McDonald's Shane and I went to McDonald's for New Year's Day. That was our first date.
Aw, shout out to Shane. He's here too.
Yeah. Here's a McGangbang.
And I was texting my mom the whole time going, I was texting.
Want some special sauce?
Ew. I was texting my mom the whole time going, so this guy was supposed to drive me home and then he switched plans really quick and now he's taking me to Prescott for McDonald's because everything was closed. It was New Year's. And then I said, so if I'm not home, I'm dead. Yeah.
And she still hasn't been home since.
Help me.
No, I mean,
Shane's a serial killer.
Shane cut the live feed a while.
I have a bag over my head.
Give me $20,000 and I'll give it back.
good on Shane
And
for
more
knowing
nuggets.
that McNuggets are the way to a girl's heart, for sure. That's good on you, Shane. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're going to start off where we left off last session. We had Tyson McKay doing some sleeping in bed, getting some rest back in him. We had Rogar Ragnak. He was going to speak with Wolfhelm about their mission to go down the well. And then we also had Laina teaming up with Irena to go deal deal with the big question as to what's going on outside the gates of Ryberry. You know, they were going to figure out what anything that they could about our mysterious foes. So I think we'll leave Tyson McKay for now. I mean, dude, you're kind of just sleeping, and I feel like you wouldn't wake up till much later.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll just punch him till he wakes up.
You're back in the fight, pussy.
We need you.
You wake now? Tickle, tickle.
Yeah, So
I
Tyson,
grow claws, tickle them.
Tyson McKay, you're gonna be asleep through this, but feel free to give us any commentary you have on what the other characters are doing, and tell them exactly what they're doing wrong throughout the whole episode.
You got it. That's what I do best.
Yeah.
Yay, thanks for encouraging us.
Under
We are
pressure.
going to pick up with Laina and Irena.
Yeah.
Whoa, I never start. That's exciting.
I know, this is exciting, right? Before we went live, Laina asked, "So who's starting? And I just totally kept silent. I don't want to give you guys those
Yeah, I
deets.
just figured nobody was listening to me again.
I thought Fievel was going to start for sure this time.
Fievel. There's that guy. Only Lord knows.
Yeah.
And I am
You're
the
the Lord,
Lord.
though. Shit.
Okay. So, Laina, you just witnessed that whole kerfluffle, the whole shamalama ding dong going on with Tyson McKay being woken up. We had your boy Vel as well as.
Was she there?
Well,
Yeah.
no. She didn't go up into the
Not
the
in.
place. She was
Oh.
standing outside. There was Rodolfo and McCain standing out there. They were told to wait by Wolfhelm while he went in, because he was obviously not just going to let Vel, this random dude who he kind of had known before, but only as a homeless person, not even as this plains-walking, life-saving magician dude. And he also wasn't going to just let Ularic walk in there all on his own. Rogar had to go. So Laina was all like, hey, I don't want him messing with what Ularic's doing, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Laina, we're now on to you and Irena. The deal with Tyson McKay has now been done. So Ularic has stepped out of the guild hall of the Knights of the New Moon, and he is currently walking up and back towards the mayor's hall. Okay. And Irena approaches you, just taking a couple steps, kind of closing the gap. She looks to you and says, I think maybe it's best that we find out more from Wilmond, our librarian.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Who's that?
Not my boy.
So Irena kind of motions towards the entrance to the guild hall and then begins to walk inside. Would you like to follow?
Yes.
Cool.
No.
No, I stay outside. I hold my breath and I stomp my foot
I say
down. I
Wolf-
say, no, I'm
I say
holding my breath.
Wilhelm can come to me. What's his name? Wilman.
Wilman.
Wilhelm.
Everyone's Wilhelm, Walmhelm,
Damarick.
Wilman.
Rick.
Dobrik. I hate that you call him that.
I'm really bad with names. I still don't know how to pronounce the mouse's
Fievel?
name. I call him Fievel.
Yeah, that's not his name. I feel as though if you call Fievel Fievel, I think you'll incur more of a wrath than anyone else has.
He might kill you.
I know.
He's a little psychopathic mouse. Like he once choked a bullywug out just for looking at him.
Let's not talk about it anymore.
He almost killed his own toad, and that's his best friend.
That fucked me up. Audience, when I listened to that episode, I was on my way into work, and I was literally crying in my car, going, "No, Bible, no!" And
Not
then
even
he
his
didn't.
name.
And then he didn't. So then I was so happy, and I had just an emotional roller coaster on my 40-minute ride into work that day.
That's one of my favorite memes from the Facebook page that he's done is Jordan Peele when he's just sweating. It's the clip from the porn video that they do, and so he's just sweating immensely. And it's like, hey there, Jack Bauer. Jack Bauer's just dripping with sweat. Yeah. Shout out to the Facebook page, the Twitter, the Insta, and on Podbean. Definitely check us out there for funny stuff, stories, as well as clips. We're looking to bring
Nudes.
audio clips in there too, but we'll talk about that more later. So, Laina, you're following Irena into the Guild Hall of the Knights of the New Moon. And yeah, the guy's name is Wilmund, so Wilmund. You know?
Don't need to write it down. You got
I
it locked.
am writing it down.
Got locked up here.
So Irena walks into the guild hall. There's the very large, ostentatious gathering hall portion of the guild hall. To your left, you see a staircase, which is 2-storied, so kind of goes up. You turn left, goes up again, and there looks like there's a number of doors along a hallway up and to the left. However, if you're to kind of continue walking into the large part of the hall where they're obviously having these guild meetings, there are tables here for their feasts and stuff like that. If you're to continue walking down that hallway, you would see doors on either side, as well as you walk by, portraits of all of the various commanders of the Knights of the New Moon. Irena walks past them, not kind of looking at any of the portraits, but as you walk by, you see that it's primarily been men who have been commanders of the Knights of the New Moon, though there are a few prominent women portrayed, and it's not only humans. At certain points, we see primarily dragonborns, but also half-orcs, and very few half-orcs, I should say, but have been portrayed as commanders as well. Irena continues to walk down, and the second set of doors on the left, she looks back at you to ensure that you're following, and then she swings open these double doors to reveal a library. Okay, it's kind of a crescent-shaped room, semicircular room, and there is one of those, the books kind of go all the way from the floor to the ceiling, so there's one of those really cool ladders that rolls around the edge so that the librarian can walk up and get one of the high-reaching shelves. It's kind of smoky in here, as though someone had been smoking a pipe, and that's quite obvious when you look to the desk and see there is a pipe that's kind of smoldering with smoke blowing. It's a very...
Not the marijuana.
It's legal now.
Not in this time period.
It's a very aromatic scent, very rich. In addition to that, the smell of booze lingers in the air, and that's a smell that you know all too well, having spent a bunch of time with mercenaries and these quote-unquote barbarians of the Iron Wolves. There is a bottle which is just a few inches from the librarian's fingers, and he is passed out at his desk face down, and he is snoring. There is one small window at the other side of the room, and the curtains have been drawn kind of sloppily, so it's covered. He's obviously not, he's taking a nap, so, he doesn't want to be disturbed by that sunlight. Irena looks at you and goes, ah, like she's just, kind of expressing her
What do you want, Irena? He's been up late dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And what do you want from me? You're the one that wanted me to meet him.
Yeah.
Wake him up with a kiss.
Everyone's
Feels like you should have done to me.
Everyone's giving him hate, and Rogar's just like, wake him up with a kiss. Okay. No. So, look, Irena's not looking for you to do anything, Laina. She's just saying, expressing her disappointment in the dude. It's not like it's super early in the morning, and he's very clearly, hungover or drunk at this point. So she walks over towards the window, which has the curtains closed. She opens them very quickly, and a bright autumn sunlight kind of floods into the room, and you see dust particles kind of fly about. She says, Wilmond, in kind of a louder tone, and he kind of starts very quickly. He knocks the glass bottle over, but there's hardly any liquid in it, so none of it really spills anywhere. And he quickly shoots up, and he goes, "Ugh, it's early." And he kind of is rubbing his eyes, giving this salty gaze, this glare towards Irena. So, would you like to do anything, Laina, or are you just gonna kind of hang out in the background?
Now, at this point, I would like Wilmond. Kind of half smile at him.
Okay. So he looks towards you for a second, Laina, continuing to rub his eyes. He then looks over at Irena and says, "What do you want at this ungodly hour?" Irena looks to him and says, "We need to know what you've uncovered." So he looks to the both of you and he says, "What I've uncovered, eh?" So he picks up the bottle and reaches for a glass, but it seems like it's literally just a few inches out of reach, so he does not grab the bottle, or does not grab the glass, and instead drinks from the bottle straight. He looks to you both and says, "Yes, we had a breakthrough last night. Me and the dragon boy."
Doesn't even know your name.
God damn it.
You almost got him a kiss.
Look, it's all in its early infancy stages of research, because of how things are. He kind of looks to you. It's very clear that he's very much still drunk from the night before. He has not reached the hangover stage yet. And he goes, we've figured out that these bodies are host to a myriad of different diseases and funguses and stuff like that. So, the really interesting thing that we found out is that there's no blood in that body that you guys fucked up in the courtyard. And that's important because... And he looks to both of you, kind of waiting for you to finish his thought. And Irena just looks to you, Laina, shakes her head, and she says, we don't have time for your games. Right, of course, he says. It's important because without blood, the body really can't move. Well, a normal body couldn't, right? And so that's what got me thinking. It's probably magic that's keeping them. And he kind of takes his fingers and walks them across the desk. And he goes, walking. And he kind of has this big smile on his face, like he's uncovered something super big.
Quote me.
Where's your citations?
It's probably magic. Rogar Ragnak.
So he looks
I think you just said magic.
He looks very pleased with himself. And he says, still though, how it functions, I don't really know. And I hypothesize it's magic, but again, I don't really know. Because it was a breakthrough, so it hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. So if you find something different, I really need to know. And Irena looks to him and goes, look, Wilmond, we just need to know if they have any weaknesses, or if this is something that was done just to this one, or, those things in the distance, were there more of them? I mean, has anything like this been done before? And he goes, I don't know about weaknesses, but I don't think they're designed to be very good at fighting. I think they're designed to kind of come inside the city. You guys give them the old 1-2, boom, and they just... And he kind of makes this explosion with his fist. And he goes, so I suppose there's probably more of them. I mean, if it were me, I would make more of them, right? Because you gotta think, how many people are infected? Not too many right now. So, Irena looks Wilmond up and down with her eyes, and she says, is there anything else you have that could be useful? At the moment, he says, holding a finger up and then looking around, no. But, if you guys come back with more, I'd be eternally grateful for that. Because, all these higher-ups, they want the information. I'm trying to do my best. I'm just a single guy, I'm just trying to read as many books as possible. They got me working 18 hours down here.
Oh, he said he's single.
What he's saying is he's working on this project all alone. Not that he doesn't have a love interest.
To cry for help.
But we are getting to that, as he then looks to Laina and says, you must be the Frost Cryo Witch.
Nope.
No.
Roll me a fucking deception check.
I'm not a Frost Witch. That's not a lie. I'm not a Frost Witch at all.
He called you a Frost Cryo Witch, and you are a Cryomancer, and I think you know what he meant. Also, he's drunk. Come on.
That's a nat one.
Okay, so instead of saying no, you just say yes. It's a crit.
Okay, cool.
It's a crit fail, so you just agree. He stands, supporting himself with the desk, and he goes, I would love to talk to you sometime about ice and the process by which you make it, and if you can make a bunch for drinks. And he kind of hiccups a little bit.
Wow.
What an icebreaker. Wow.
Literally.
So he's leaning on the desk, right?
Yeah, he's supporting himself quite strongly.
And am I on the other side of the desk? Is that kind of where we're standing?
Well, Irena got a little bit closer than you did. I imagine that you didn't approach closer than about 10 feet. It's quite a long room, but it's up to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that I approached a little bit earlier,
Okay.
and then I'll just kind of lean down on the desk too, like both forearms on the table, and then smiling at him, so we're kind of at eye level more.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what you're just gonna smile at him at eye level?
No, and then I'm gonna say okay.
Oh, you say okay. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Is this like you trying to be charming with them, or are you just trying to?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Charming. I wouldn't say flirting. Charming is good.
Roll me a charisma check.
Oh, that's good. I have great charisma.
Yeah, dude, I'm here for you.
I don't have good charisma. That's a 13. I don't even have anything in my charisma. The whole point of me flipping was pointless.
Okay, so Wilmond looks back at you. He his eyes almost completely fixated on you, but he's still kind of drunk, so his eyes wander a little bit back and forth. And he goes, So when do you get off?
Right now.
I'm actually just leaving.
Irena looks to both of you and says, We don't have time for this.
I said I was leaving, Irena. God.
Threesome.
Wilmond says, Well, when you get back, I need to know about the things that you're going to find, but I would also like to have a drink with some of that ice of yours, he says as he kind of pokes you in the chest, like in the collarbone area.
I don't like that at all.
He just taps you in the chest.
Yeah. No, I don't want to be touched by you, woman, at all.
Are you saying that to him?
No. No, but I stand up now. And then I do want to ask before I leave, though. He said books, but is there anything else that he might want from them?
So
is there sampling kits that he might want or something?
He looks to you both and he says, I mean, I'm not exactly a field researcher. I'm more of an armchair researcher. So if you got like descriptions or drawings or looks at the footprints or whatever it is, right? I mean, do whatever it is that you outside cats do.
Wow.
Like outside cats, okay.
Plus 50 experience points to Rogar.
Yes.
I'm picturing like those outside cats that you see that only have one ear and no tail, and they walk around with only like limping and they hiss at everything. It's like, I'm an outside cat.
Irena's only got one eye, so.
Oh.
Yeah, that was in poor taste, Laina.
Yeah.
Me and poor taste.
Come on, that's Rogar's girl.
Remember him last episode? She's ARG. Oh, right.
Okay. So Irena turns and begins to walk out of the room. She then kind of like lets out a little bit of a sigh, turns and flips a gold piece towards Wilmond, who, despite being quite drunk, catches it almost expertly as though this is something that's happened many times before. And he goes, Information at a cost, am I right?
You didn't give him information.
He did.
Oh, I guess you could ask Rogar and he would have given you the same answer.
5 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'll follow Irena out as she does that, and then but I will like kind of turn around and say bye, Wilmond.
Okay, so he looks towards you and he says, Bye. And he kind of does like the finger wave.
Limp hand.
Yeah. But he can tell like he's trying very hard. He's got like this kind of, he's trying to be seductive smile on. But he's a librarian, he's got like glasses kind of in disarray, his longer brown hair kind of disheveled looking. So yeah, but he's still cute, I think. Still a cute guy. All right.
Cuter than McKay? I don't think so.
He's definitely, yeah, it's hard to say who's more stable between the two of them. I mean, McCain's a psychopath and Wilman's just a drunk, so yeah, but both super cute choices, Laina. Both real winners.
Well, I'm not going to choose Rodolfo. He's got some weird sister familial shit with
Ansel's not
Ansel.
his sister. And I
thought
don't,
we said that last episode.
no, they're not brother and sister. They're in love. They're like a pair. They're romantic.
She has a boyfriend?
What?
No wonder they both suck together.
What the fuck?
I wouldn't have wrote that.
Rodolfo's a dick for no
Tyson
reason.
kills himself.
Rodolfo's a dick for no reason, and Ansel's a freaking idiot. I can't get over the bread thing.
Oh my god.
Like, she never would have known anything if you guys hadn't rolled so low. What do you have there? It's bread. Oh. Goes about her day.
Wow.
It's like it's a love letter.
It was bread, and I lit it on fire. Why? Okay.
Because I wanted toast.
That's something Tyson would do, to be fair. It's not out of the ordinary.
So,
Right.
Irena and Laina, prepping for your journey, you guys head out of the guild hall of the Knights of the New Moon and onto the streets of Ryberry. The town is a-bustling, and as you guys are walking towards the main gate, you see Iron Wolves, Town Guard, and Knights of the New Moon all hammering, sawing, and working away at fortifying the town. A real can-do attitude, the men and women of the city. So that's kind of cool
Wow.
to see.
Yeah.
As you approach the gate, it is Captain Raynaud, the leader of the guard, who,
What happened to that guy?
yeah,
Jesus.
well, he's been
He
dealing with the
died.
town guard.
He's dead
sure.
too. Everyone
Well-
Rogar hasn't seen in a few hours or is dead.
He's dead. Everyone's dead. No, he
Rogar, just open your eyes.
he chose not to go to the meeting with the Iron Wolves and the Knights of New Moon because he had a lot to deal with the guards. So something that you can definitely ask him about if you want to. However, he is standing atop the gate, pointing at his men towards spots and sections of the eastern wall that are going to need to be repaired. And as the two of you approach, Laina, he looks down at both of you and says, "You've both been cleared to leave."
Yeah, we know.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, the sass isn't really helping your popularity vote among the people, Laina. Just letting you
Am
know.
I supposed to be popular with them, though?
No, I'm just saying. You know, it wouldn't kill you to say
Iron Wolf, Iron Fist.
plus
Oh
200
my God.
experience points. That's dope.
Yeah.
You know what, girl? You're playing your character. I like it. I just like to give you a
He
hard
gives
time.
me
Iron
shit when I first start the
Fister.
episode. When I first started playing, Amber, I had this character. She was supposed to be rough and tough. And so then I try. Amber, you're not really being popular.
Amber, sweetie, I know I told you to be yourself, but no one in school likes you.
Stop! Why would you say that on the live stream?
It's fine. He says it about Tyson all the time.
Okay.
And I only go by deer. Thank you.
Like DEER.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
All right, dear. So you are... The gates of Ryberry creak open, and Irena walks and steps out confidently into the outer part of the town. Would you like to follow?
And you see Fievel. He's been standing there for months.
It's just his decomposed body.
Jack Bauer's eating him.
Just a note attached to his body. I waited for you. This is a formal hunger strike. I will not speak. I will not eat until I am listened to.
It's a hunger strike. There's a bunch of good berries all around him.
Just in circles. Weird patterns drawn on the ground.
So sun dudes.
So the two of you step outside Ryberry, and the gates of the town close behind you. You can still hear the sounds of the people working away at fortifying the town. And as you look out onto the landscape, there is about, it varies at different points between 3/4 of a kilometer to about a kilometer of open terrain, grassland, kind of slightly hilly before the forest takes over. However, you can see the main road, which leads into Ryberry, which kind of heads both east and then kind of dips south. And that also heads into the wood off to your right. Looking north, you can see mountains in the distance, mountains that are certainly known, at least slightly, to Tyson McKay, though he would have been from further east.
Slightly.
Slightly to Tyson McKay. I mean, I'm imagining that when you grew up in the mountains, they would have talked about the mountains, but then again, what do I know?
They ignored them. Those are the large hills.
Son, we don't live in the mountains. It's all an illusion. We live on the coast. This is Baja, baby.
Wow, I'm just swimming in the fields. Living life.
You have a horrible allergy.
Just outbreak. Hives all the time.
So, Irena looks to you, Laina, and says, I say we make for the trees where we saw them, and then go from there.
Okay.
All right. So, walking along the open expanse in between Ryeberry and the nearby woods, you see this vast greenery of the forest, mostly deciduous trees with some conifers in between. And though it is overwhelmingly green, there are the first hints of oranges and yellows and reds amongst the leaves. You know, fall is in, if not full swing, it's definitely fast approaching. And Irena looks to you, and her stance kind of changes. The grasses aren't super tall here, but she's not walking, you know, straight up and with confidence, but rather in somewhat of a crouched mode. So she's not actively trying to stealth, but she's definitely not wanting to attract a lot of attention to the two of you walking across the field and heading towards the woods.
Yeah, I agree. I would do the same thing.
Okay. So the two of you kind of sneak towards the tree line, and Irena looks to you and begins to look for evidence along the ground. She scours with her eyes for a few moments and says, they were standing around here. And then she looks back towards Ryeberry to kind of get a vantage point, and then begins to move in a more northward direction to the left along the tree line, where she perhaps may have seen more of them.
Okay. I want to kind of go in the same direction as her, but not along the same path, if that makes sense. Just so
Sure.
that we're not... I'm not just following her around, and I'm kind of looking at other things and seeing different
Sounds
things.
good. So Irena is going to roll a perception check, and she kind of whispers to you as she does so. Nice. With a 16 plus her wisdom of 2, she says, look, footprints, in almost a half-whispered tone. She points at them on the ground and then crouches towards them, stopping right at the edge of these footprints, which walked from the deeper woods out and then stood with kind of this wide stance looking directly towards Ryeberry. She investigates them for a few more seconds, and then she says, come over here, look.
Yeah, so I'll go over there carefully where I'm stepping.
Okay. Whispering to you again, she says, they're large, deformed. She points to edges. She says, it's humanoid, but I mean, look at this. She points to the toes where, you know, if you were wearing a shoe and there was a sole, it would obviously be rounded, but this has kind of odd bits of impression in the mud, in the dirt, which just looks to be kind of haphazard, as though the foot had a bunch of growths or lesions on it, right? Kind of changing the shape.
Can we sketch this or anything? Did we bring anything that we could kind of show this footprint to Wilmond?
So Irena looks to you and she says, I can do better. She pulls her pack down to her side and pulls out 3 different jars. Okay. In the first, it's a jar of clay. The second, a jar of water. And the third is a bag, actually, more of a soft bag of sand. She begins to mix in the jar of clay the sand and then pours water carefully to a certain mixture, and then she begins to pour it into the depression, the footprint, and even it out, making it
You're
a cast.
ruining it.
I'm like, no!
So she makes a cast of the footprint. After a few minutes, she ceases her work after she's kind of happy with the impression that she's made. She looks to you and she says, we'll need to wait a little bit. Let's have a look around and circle back.
Okay.
So she stands up, not entirely, but back again to that crouched position, and begins to inch her way towards the thicker trees. She follows the footprints back slightly, and then she stops. She looks left and right, seeing more footprints of different individuals, and she kind of stands up more upright. She turns and then looks back towards Ryberry, and then she kind of outstretches her arms right and left, and she says, "They stood in a line. But why would they look at Ryberry? And where do they come from?" She seems to be
Probably
posing
the woods,
herself
idiot.
questions. She turns back. "If they are like the others, a fungus or a disease, they wouldn't be able to withstand sunlight. Well, they wouldn't like it anyways." And then she looks to you and says, "There's a cave system near here. Twin Grotto. We used to play there as children. It's no more than a couple kilometers from here."
Okay. Can I, just before we leave, can I roll an Arcana to see, because Woman said it was magic, so can I roll an Arcana and see if there's anything going on there?
Like traces of magic? Sure, if you want to.
Fuck, yeah, but it's not going to do anything. Yeah, it's a 7.
Yeah, so no traces of magic from the footprints, though at least to the best of your knowledge, only really strong magics that are either constant, or if they were in passing, they would have to be super strong and a very specific kind of magic to kind of linger like that, right?
Okay.
So she looks into the tree line and says, "Yes, not far from here, Twin Grotto. Maybe a kilometer and a half. I mean, they could have walked that easily and then headed back because morning was coming." She looks to you and says, "Keep a watchful eye."
I nod.
Okay. And she begins to head back into the forest. Are you walking alongside her, following behind her? What would you like to do?
Yeah,
sure.
I'll walk alongside her. If she's like walking more upright now, I'll walk alongside her. If she's more crouching, doing the crouching thing, I'll kind of follow that movement.
Okay. All right. So she is in kind of a half crouch, and you guys walk for what seems to be about 20 minutes. You're definitely moving at a slower pace, just because you're not walking upright or running, right? You're kind of moving at half speed at the very least, and it is no more than a few minutes past the 20-minute mark where you both come across more of a clearing. There are only small trees which grow here. It looks like maybe some saplings of various kinds, but Irena quickly holds her fist up as though to denote like stop, because in the distance you guys hear a twig snap. So
yeah, so I stop. I listen to that. I stop.
She quickly goes from crouched to completely prone on the ground, and as she does so, in almost one fluid motion, she takes her crossbow off of her back and pulls it back against her chest, like against the ribs and stomach, making sure that it's ready to go.
Okay. I just have my spells ready, so...
Okay, so she looks towards you, kind of looking back at you, and with her head motions for you to join alongside her as she begins to kind of, I guess, soldier crawl through the bushes in the thicket towards the edge of the clearing so you guys can get a better view.
Okay. I'll do that, but I'm being very cautious to leave my hands available. Like, I'm not crawling. If anything, I'm more so on my elbows so that I can still raise a hand and...
Oh yeah, she's still doing that as well, right? Because she's holding onto her crossbow. So she's not like she's crawling, like tearing her way forward with her nails. She's using the elbows, right? Okay. So Irena is going to roll a perception check. Nice. Gosh. Yeah, Irena, go girl. That is a 13 plus her wisdom of 2. and she is going to be able to take a peek at what is going on in the clearing. In the clearing, I'll have you roll this as well. If you could roll me a perception check, Laina, that'd be great.
I haven't been rolling well. It's a 10.
That's a 2?
So I have plus... No, it's a 10.
Oh, 10. Thank goodness.
You're all dead.
You're all dead.
Okay.
I have a plus 5 to perception and got a 10, okay? So...
So, nearly 35, almost 40 feet from you, a humanoid figure, very slender and cloaked in a very tattered and greenish-gray cloak with holes and kind of raggedy patches in it, is walking towards the south and kind of walking towards a large tree which sits at the southernmost point of this clearing. As she walks through the grass, it's very clear that she's not wearing any shoes, and she seems to almost delight at the nature around her and seems to dance on her way towards one of the trees. Okay? She dances up to this tall tree with moss and mushrooms and bracket fungi, those large semicircular discs which feed from this large oak tree growing from it, and kind of with reckless abandon to her volume of her voice, begins to coo at them in a loving voice that somehow at the same time seems sick and wretched. So she kind of coos, "Oh, my pretty ones," she utters, cupping them in her hands, and she seems to inhale deeply.
It's
as though
Granny
she's
Assy.
It is not Granny Assy, but plus 10 experience points for thinking of the girl.
Oh shit, I totally thought it was her too.
No, only has so many female voices, okay?
Damn it.
No, this is quite a slender figure, right? Granny Assy was a little bit dumpy.
Yeah, she was.
That's what I was thinking. I'm picturing this as like a beautiful thing, and then it's Granny. Is it Granny Assy?
No, it's
We call her
Granny
that.
Addie, but they call her Assy.
It is Addie. For a second I was like, oh, why don't I remember her being Assy?
Okay, so she inhales deeply while cupping these mushrooms and mosses, and smells them as though she's smelling flowers like roses. Then she quickly turns towards the center of the clearing, taking a few steps with speed, not because she's seen you guys, but because she just seems to be taking deep breaths and enjoying being in the clearing. She is very emaciated looking, almost sickly, green and brown in coloration in terms of her skin, with splotches of a deeper sickly green mixed in there as well. She wears very little below the thigh, tatters of clothing, and she pulls back her hood to reveal a head without any hair. Again, her skin and her face is that sickly moss green color, and her lips are blackened. As she blinks her eyes, Irena takes a quick breath in, because her eyes are almost entirely black, without whites or irises at all.
Sorry, you should say.
No, Irena's got one eye. This random forest chick has 2 eyes. Okay.
Oh, I thought Irena's eyes were going.
No,
black.
no. They're looking at the woman who
Gotcha.
now is about 20 to 25 feet from you guys, more to the center of the clearing. She almost crouches down as if speaking to someone. She whispers, I know. I told them we should. I told them, she says as she laughs. She then turns her face towards the forest and takes a deep inhale or breath. And I'm going to need you both to roll me stealth checks, please. I'll roll for Irena. You can roll for yourself.
Oh, God.
So Irena's got a 16 plus her stealth of 3.
Oh, that's way better. That is a 16 for me.
Okay. So the woman in the sickly green with the black eyes, without hair, she stands very abruptly and she stands very tall and upright. And then she takes more sniffs inwards and takes a few more steps towards you. Irena doesn't hardly move her body, but the crossbow tip seems to follow this figure as she slowly adjusts to ensure that she's going to get the right shot. The creature then turns back, the humanoid turns back and says, watching me now. And then she turns back towards the bushes and she says, my children hunger for you. She calls out towards the both of you.
I run back to Ryberry. I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Where's Tyson?
So,
Throw him out.
Irena turns her face, still keeping the crossbow trained on the woman, turns her face towards you, Laina, and she whispers in a very, very, very low tone, I think we should talk to her.
Hi.
What's up, girl?
We're all women here. Let's
Let's all sync up.
fuck Ryberry. You should blast her with an arrow.
Like, I guess if she wants to, sure. She can stand up first, though.
Okay. So, Irena...
I'll just not, like, you know, kind of look at her like, you make the decision, but I'm not saying no.
Okay. So, Irena looks back at the woman who's kind of spinning in circles, kind of taking odd steps, not like spinning with any kind of plan here, but just seems to be kind of like making herself dizzy by looking around and around. And Irena says, she could be useful. She could know things.
She's talking to Blake.
She says that she could be useful. She could know things.
She is talking to plants. So,
Irena looks back towards her and then slowly stands, crossbow still pointed towards the woman, who quickly like spins around and stops, staring at Irena, who freezes. And the sickly woman kind of turns her head to the side and begins to walk almost very quickly towards Irena, who holds the crossbow full tilt up towards her and says, wait, stop. And the woman stops in her tracks. And the woman kind of looks at Irena with intrigue and then kind of falls back and takes a couple steps back and says, my children will love you like I love them. Tell us, Irena says, who are your children? Secrets, secrets, secrets. Secrets. Irena kind of looks quickly back towards you, Laina, and then she begins to kind of not approach, but kind of circle left. And the woman, her gaze follows Irena, and her body follows her as well, turning, so she doesn't seem to be aware of the fact that you're still crouched down there.
No, I'm gonna get up though, because if something happens with Irena, I gotta be ready. So
okay.
I'm gonna stand up as well, and then I also want to ready Ray of Frost. I'm also gonna ready that one.
Okay, so you're gonna ready Ray of Frost. Good stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Irena continues to circle, and you stand as well, and the woman quickly turns towards you and then takes a couple steps backwards. She says, he was right, he was right. Who is he? Irena calls out. Who is he? What was he right about? I can't say, she says. She kind of rubs the side of her head. He said so. Come. He said nothing about sharing words. And Irena says, who is he? Why is he here? The woman takes a couple steps forward. She's always moving and never seems to be in a state of fully stopping her movement. And she smiles coyly and says, to retrieve it. She has this big, bright smile on her face in saying it. What is it that he is retrieving? She looks at the both of you, still smiling, extends her hand out
Shit.
towards the south, and a staff flies towards her hand, and she clutches it and then kind of spins it around her body and says, "I'll play you for it."
Rock, paper, scissors.
What kind of game?
So you say, "What kind of game?" And she says, whoever. And she seems to kind of trail off in the thought, and Irena seems to kind of follow her with the crossbow and looks almost prepared to take a shot, though not a lethal one. The woman stops moving and turns towards Irena very quickly, and she says, "Whoever doesn't die wins."
Great. Awesome. I'm glad we talked.
Kill Irena.
Okay, I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative rolls, please, because we are getting into the full swing of combat.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Rogar comes out of the bushes and smacks her in the face.
Which one?
Covered in blood.
All of them.
They're all evil.
Like,
They're all evil in Rogar's eyes. Rogar goes so good that he turns evil. No one's good enough for him.
I can't trust women anymore.
Why?
because of Xbox Girl.
Fuck, I was lost.
And Laina, what did you roll on your initiative?
A 13.
Ain't bad.
I'm going last because Noah's having a good night with rolls.
I'm having a great night with rolls. Funnily enough, they both rolled 18, but Irena has a higher plus to Dex than this lady does. So Irena looses off a shot with her crossbow with an 18 plus her to hit. She slams the woman in the shoulder with a crossbow bolt. She is going to be taking 9 damage from the crossbow bolt.
She dies.
Dead.
Immediately dead, falls to the ground. The game's over, you win. Okay.
Tyson might die if he got hit with that.
Irena then runs left towards the tree line. She ducks behind a tree, kind of not falling down, but sliding down the back of the tree, and as a bonus action, reloads her crossbow. So she's taken full
Nice.
cover.
Okay.
It is now the woman's turn. She turns towards you, Laina, as Irena very quickly has made herself, behind cover and taken cover. And this this cackling green light seems to start at her hand, travel up the length of her staff, and then she blasts it towards you, this green projectile. I'm going to roll a d20 here. And what is your AC?
Oh, low. 14.
Okay, so that is a hit. It is a ranged spell attack. Laina, you are going to take 11. You're going to take 11 poison damage.
Okay.
And you're going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god.
You only have to beat a 14, though.
Only? Is that it? I rolled a 2. So.
Okay,
Did you win?
You are poisoned until the end of your next turn. Okay? So.
Your next
Is my next turn right now, though? That's good, at least.
No. Like poison until the end of I guess, this woman's next turn. Okay? Which means that you'll be rolling at disadvantage for all of your actions.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm just going to switch dice quickly. I don't need that one anymore, because,
I'm just going to switch dice.
green for the poison that I am.
Whoa. What a metaphor or whatever, am I right?
So, just because
the woman
at this point...
Sorry. She's going to finish off her turn by taking about 10 steps back, and she kind of tosses the staff between two hands, almost whispering to it the words which you can't hear, however. What would you like to do?
I dropped dead. No. So I'm going to cast... You said is she still about 20 feet from us?
Well, she just moved 10 feet back, so she is 32 feet from you.
Good. So when I leveled up, I got Frostball, which
Nice.
is essentially the same as Tyson's Fireball.
It's not the same. It's the opposite, actually.
And
Plus 20 experience points, Tyson.
Holy fuck. I did level up too. I should tell people that. That's
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, I want to hear about that after the fight.
sure.
But yeah, so I'm gonna cast that. So it's a 20-foot radius. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's not hitting us. It's only hitting her. And then it's also gonna knock her prone.
Okay, so she's rolling a dex saving throw or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I have to maybe double check that.
Yeah, double check on it,
it.
and then we'll know for sure.
It's a frostball coming at you, so.
Oh, and that's a natural fucking 20, bud.
Oh, wow.
Thank God for these green dice. Okay, I'm just gonna double check.
Yeah, because if she's rolling, then you don't have to roll at all.
Yeah, because you might just have to
So
make
don't.
a dex check.
Wow.
Yeah, because typically how those AoE spells work is you like point your finger in the direction of where you want it to go, and then it happens, but everyone has to roll.
I see what you mean, but I just rolled.
No, I understand what you mean, but it doesn't matter because that wasn't the right rule that you were
That's
following.
not the spell. Okay, hold on. I'm just finding it here.
What? I rolled a 20. Change the rules for me, Noah.
You don't know how dash works.
Oh, I'm definitely not letting you use it now.
Frostball.
How's your life going, Rogar?
I already told you, my heart's broken.
I said Rogar.
Oh, I don't know. I'm about to belly flop into this well, so.
Please do. You'll die instantly.
So
I was thinking cannonball.
it's a dex save.
Oh, rip.
That's rough.
Rip.
I quit. I don't even know how to calculate my dex for this.
No,
It's
you
her.
don't have to do it. It's her.
She's doing a dex save.
No, I know, but she has to beat something, right?
Yeah, it's 8 plus your proficiency plus your spellcasting modifier.
Spellcasting.
So, proficiency 2.
Okay, yeah, so that would be my proficiency is 2 plus my wisdom is 3 plus my cons is 3, so that's 6, 7, 8
But you're not
plus
adding.
my what?
You're not adding your con. You're just adding your spellcasting modifier
Yeah.
plus your.
Yeah, my spell casting modifier. I have a feat that lets me add my constitution,
Oh, cool. That's sweet.
so that would include that in my spell casting.
Yep.
So it's 8 plus all of this.
Okay. What did I say originally? 6. That's 6, 7, 8 plus 8, so she has to be to 16.
Cool. So she got.
And I rolled in at 20, so
That's
20.
impossible.
She only rolls an 11 plus her dex
Yes.
of 2.
I told you.
So she fails.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Now I have to roll 8.
she is caught in the full explosion of your frost bomb. She is knocked prone, so she's kind of thrown back 5 feet, and she lands on her back, and she takes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's too many dice. She
Dice
takes
malfunction.
100,000
my
damage.
D6 too. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus 5. Shane, get a calculator out quick.
7 plus 5 is 12.
12. And then how many rolls was that? I think that was 3.
3.
Plus 1.
13.
Plus 3.
16.
16.
Plus 6.
22.
And I rolled in at 20.
That doesn't matter.
Double it.
Yeah.
Double it.
Noah, make it count.
Double it.
No, absolutely. We're not. Tyson, I'll take away those 20 experience points.
Divide it.
Divide it. Plus 100 experience points, Tyson. That was a good comment. I like that.
Whew.
Okay.
I'm going to level up again. I'm not.
All right. So she takes 22 damage and is knocked prone. How would you like to end your turn? Would you like to move at all, or would you like to stay where you are?
Yeah, no, I am going to move actually because I got a feat at level 5. No, this is an actual action. So no, I'm just going to...
Climb the tree.
Yeah, I'll move back another I'll move back 20 feet because that would put her 60 feet away. So yeah, I'll do that.
If you do so, there will be trees in the way. Like you'll be
Okay,
in
then
the
never mind.
forest.
I'll stay there then.
You're right
Yeah,
at the brink, at the edge. So we move on to Irena, who rolls out from the tree line and takes a moment to really aim that shot of hers. She's got advantage because her enemy is prone, so she stands from that crouched position and fires. She's going to roll 2 d20s. Thank God, because the first one's a nat 1. And the second one's a nat 20.
Oh my God.
Boy!
So
What are the odds? Do the math.
I don't know what the odds. That's crazy. So the crossbow bolt flies through the air, landing right into the woman's calf and actually penetrating the ground. So she is stuck in the ground. She's going to roll double
calf
damage
hurts.
on this bad boy. Oh my
children
goodness.
aren't gonna be
nasty,
happy.
nasty. With a full 6 times 2 is 12. But she's also got her
Double
plus
it.
to hit, which is 3, 4.
Triple
So
it.
she's dealing 20 damage on this crossbow
Oh
shot.
my goodness.
Like the maximum
Good thing
that
you
she
brought
could do.
her.
Fire the cannons.
Okay. It is now the woman's turn. She kind of lets out this ferocious like snarl and looks back towards her leg. She just rolls though, and you can hear the audible snap of the crossbow shaft as she just rolls
Oh my
and
God.
obviously has immense pain shooting through her leg. And she stands, taking half of her movement speed to do so. She heavily leans on her staff, and then she just begins to laugh and smile at the both of you. She lets go of her staff and kind of wobbles for a split second, and the staff remains standing upright of its own accord.
How?
Okay?
Here come the children.
She reaches into a small pouch, hide pouch at her side, and pulls a small spherical object. She
Pokeball.
cups it in both of her hands and begins to whisper to it, kind of cooing at it for 3 to 4 seconds, and then she tosses it into the middle of the clearing. Okay? Irena, her crossbow obviously kind of follows this object until, it lands in the middle of the clearing. Everyone's eyes shifting to it, and from it, these small roots, tentacle-like almost in their movement as they move very fast, begin to sprout from this small object and embed themselves into the ground. The ground seems to furl and move underneath it, and the little tiny black object, which you now know to be a seed, kind of plows down into the ground. And it's moments later that there's actually trembles beneath the ground, and the woman laughing and cackling as she does so, kind of almost, in spite of her injury, jumping up and down with joy, like literally jumping up and down with joy. A very large stalk begins to penetrate from beneath the ground, and growing at a rapid pace, this large carnivorous plant, this almost Venus flytrap looking creature, which is large in its size and takes up about a 10-foot squared area, blossoms from the ground. And this woman, kind of cooing at it, says, "Yes, my deadly blossom, yes."
His name's Blossom.
Okay. So, Irena takes a couple steps back towards the tree line. She looks like she's just passively reaching for one of her arrows. However, it's not her turn. And the woman stands where she is, not moving at all. She now has been blocked slightly by Irena's trajectory and blocked from your trajectory as well. So she feels quite confident standing where she is. Irena, close call there. Laina, it now falls to you. What would you like to do? This large
you're not
carnivorous
poisoned.
plant in a 10-foot squared area.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I had anything that... Because is it within 20 feet of her?
Is it within 20 feet of her? Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna cast Frostball again. So
At
she has
the
to beat
Blossom
a
or at
dex-
both of them?
At both of them. I want to encompass them both in the 20-foot
Nice.
radius. So they have to roll dex saves.
Okay,
Do
the plant
you-
automatically fails.
Oh, shit.
Cool.
Pass that every time.
She fails as well with an 8.
Oh my god.
Rip.
Ugh. Okay. So 7. That's 2. 7. Oh, God, 8, 9. Plus 5, so 14 damage.
Nice. Okay. So both the Deadly Blossom.
Oh wait, I have 8d6.
Yeah, I was gonna say
How many did I roll there?
that was 6.
That was 6? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then that's 2 more 6s, so that's whatever I said plus 12.
24.
24.
24 damage.
Yep.
Okay. So, and the Blossom will take 24 damage as well. Excellent.
And then they're knocked prone if they're not prone.
Okay, the plant cannot be knocked prone
Okay, yeah.
as per its statistics, and the woman, now most likely you know to be a druid, as you have met druids before, is knocked prone as well. Okie dokie. So, Laina, what would you like to do at the end of your turn?
I'm gonna move further away from the plant
Okay.
if I can. Not into the forest, just further away from the plant. I want to keep moving and be light on my feet.
Okay. So, Laina, you are starting your turn within the range of the Deadly Blossom, the carnivorous plant, and moving will definitely trigger this, so you'll need to roll me a dexterity saving throw
Shit.
Do
Okay.
it.
as it lunges towards you.
Oh, good. Do I have any inspiration? Please.
You'll have to look up and see if I've ever given you inspiration. I believe I have, but we'll have to check.
No,
though.
I've never gotten inspiration from you. And I rolled a nat. I rolled a nat.
Dagger.
I rolled a nat 1.
A nat 20. Wow.
A nat
Yeah,
one.
so I'm down.
Dead.
You're dead.
Okay,
The
so
plant swallows you whole.
the carnivorous plant grabs you with its mouth and then hoists you up into the air. Both its teeth, which sink into your limbs and your body, as well as the poison, which is kind of festering
God.
inside of its mouth, are both going to damage you. So, Laina, you're going to take...
Double damage.
Like I'm
Ooh,
dead,
you're
you know
lucky.
that.
Oh god.
Is it
You're
more
gonna-
than 22?
No, you take 18, 19, 20... 18, 19, 20 damage. 18, 19,
Hey, that
20.
was
Yeah.
good.
Times 2.
Is that plus, is
Oh no.
that
No,
plus the
no.
poison?
It's we already doubled it for the one. It's all good.
Okay.
You're safe.
Okay.
Fully healed.
So you have already used your action to cast your spell, so on your next turn you can attempt to get out of the deadly flower. Okay?
That's good. Yeah.
Alright. We are now back to the top with Irena, who is going to dash a couple feet back. Not take the dash action, but just move very quickly back from the plant. It is not going to attack her with its mouth because it's already got you. However, there are a couple of vines which whip towards her, so she is going to roll a dex saving throw. Nice, with a 16 plus her dex of 3. She rolls out of the way of those. She is going to toss her crossbow to the ground and draw her sword, rushing forward. She is going to use her ability. She has a feat where she can, drop her crossbow. She does this often, so she can drop her ranged weapon and draw her short range weapon or her melee weapon, and it's a bonus action. So she's still able to attack. She rushes towards the center of the plant, okay, towards the neck of it, and begins to hack with her longsword using both of her hands. So she's going to take 2 very calculated strikes right at the nape of its neck, right before its bell, where it's got you trapped in its mouth. With her first attack, she has a 14 plus her to hit. It's absolutely Gucci Mane, so she is going to roll her d10. Nice, with a
Who's
9
Gucci Mane?
plus her to hit, or plus her damage. She is going to deal 15 on her first strike. Ooh. Oh, damn, girl, and a nat 20 on her second.
Shit.
Okay.
You have rigged dice, don't you?
Please get me out of here. Please.
They're metal dice from Shapeways. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want dice that always roll 20s, check out Shapeways.
Whoa.
That's rigged.
Check out shake weight. I've had a shake weight.
On her nat 20, she also rolls a 9 on her damage, which would be 15 times 2 is 30. So she's dealing 45 damage in both of these strikes. Her second strike with the nat 20 severs the head of the carnivorous plant. The damage calculated means we're absolutely good to go. She's already critted it. So the head rolls off and down, and Laina, you feel its jaw relax, and you can kind of see the bright sky above you, kind of pushing, obviously, this plant's mouth open.
Forget Tyson.
Okay.
We need Laina.
I'll dole out XP at the end of the session if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's good.
Sweet. Okie dokie.
Unless it means I'm gonna level up. If it's more than 4,000 experience.
We'll save it for the end of the session. Okay. So, the woman wails and falls to her knees, sobbing very sincerely at the fact that the plant has died. And we are on her turn. She completely abandons combat and is just on her knees sobbing at the dead plant.
Cut her head off.
Okay.
Try harder.
Laina, we're now up to you. What would you like to do on your turn?
I like to get out of the mouth.
Okay, so you push that mouth wide and open. The poison is simply debilitating you. It's not actually dealing damage to you. And you step free of the plant's mouth, kind of covered in this mucus and this slime. Irena lending a hand, if you would wish, to kind of pull you out of it.
Does she have any... I'm going to ask her if she has any health potions.
She kind of, her gaze never leaving the druid woman who's crying on the ground. She reaches her hand back towards a small, the Iron Wolves, the Knights of the New Moon are nothing if they're not practical, so their gear has all of these pouches like a utility belt, and she flicks one open, pulling out almost like a vial. It's very small, and she hands it out to you.
Okay, I take that and drink it.
Okay, it is a potion of greater healing.
Yes.
It's more poison.
I grabbed the wrong vial.
She said the last one alive gets it.
Oh.
You guys laugh now, but I had a group. It's funny. It's a funny tangent. I had a group where we had a cleric who would always carry a bunch of health potions with him, and what he ended up doing at one point was he was dealing with this shop owner, and the shop owner was like, I also have these potions, and they look like health potions. And the cleric's like, oh, I'll take those too. And he says, wait, they're not actually health potions, they're actually poison. And the cleric stopped for a second. He's like, that's even better. So then whenever anyone asked him for a health potion, he was like, here, take one. And he would honestly just he would write it down on a piece of paper and pass it to me, so that we would keep it above board and clear as to which one he was giving them, right? So that he could help them or he could hurt them, right? Needless to say, no one ever took his health potions. worst cleric ever.
Do I have to roll for the greater healing?
Yeah, so the potion of greater healing is 4d4 plus 4.
Oh god.
Oh goodness.
4. Plus 4. So I got...
Oh, you threw... Oh, never mind.
That's 2. Yeah. 4d4. What did I roll? I think I rolled 12 plus 4.
Yeah.
16. 18. I have 18 health again. That's good.
Nice. Okay, so your action is drinking the health potion.
Yeah.
However, for the purpose of combat, it is over. The woman has ceased to attack and is just now sobbing at the death of her creature. Okay, so Irena takes a look at you to ensure that you are indeed good to go, and then if you'd like, you can walk with her towards the woman, because Irena's going to close the gap very quickly. She thrusts her sword forward towards the woman's chest and holds it there.
Because combat is over, as I walk towards her, I have 50 feet of hempen rope. Can I,
Hanger.
hanger. No, can I go to, tie her up? I don't have handcuffs, obviously, But do I have handcuffs? I put Tyson in handcuffs. Thanks.
Yeah, you,
Please help me.
there are handcuffs back at Ryberry, but you didn't say that you were bringing handcuffs with you, and they're not in your inventory, so I'm going to go with no.
But I do have the rope.
Okay, so you pull out your rope as you approach her, but Irena puts her hand on your forearm and kind of shakes her head, because kind of what she's thinking here, and we can kind of divulge that to the group, is that you obviously don't want to trigger her out of this emotional state that she's in. You want, like, she doesn't want this woman to just lash out, right? So she keeps the sword pressed towards her chest, and she kind of nods towards you to kind of slowly begin to take the rope out.
Okay.
The
Then
rope is attached to the side of your bag, right? So it's not like it's in your bag.
A hassle. Yeah. Okay, I'll just leave it then.
Okay. So, Irena asks the woman again, who is he? What is he here to retrieve? The woman, just sobbing uncontrollably, looks to both of you and she says, I can't tell you. I don't want to tell you. It wasn't fair. So, Irena looks at the woman, smiling, almost sincerely, and she says, it was more than fair. Now tell us. The woman looks up at her, takes a finger and kind of points it up at the both of you. It seems to shine with a little bit of light for a second before she touches her chest, and kind of materializing from that point where she touches her chest, she seems to, that her skin and her clothing and her being there seems to begin to vanish. So she has cast this illusion spell.
Oh god.
On herself.
Can I go tie her up now?
She stands looking at both of you, and Irena continues to follow her with the sword, but the camouflage spell is quickly spreading across her body, and Irena says, don't move, I'll stab. And the woman stops for a second, and Irena nods towards you to tie her up.
Okay, yeah, I do that.
So you
she doesn't even need to nod, I'm doing it.
Yeah, so you move around to the side of the woman and get ready to tie her up. However, she snaps her fingers, and there's a loud concussive bang, like a blast, which emanates from her. It's completely auditory. And I'm going to need you both to roll Constitution saving throws.
Oh god, the children are here.
Oh gosh.
The children are the seeds.
Irena with a 7.
Uh-oh.
I did better than that. Constitution save?
Yeah.
14.
Okay. So you just make the Constitution saving throw. Irena is blinded and deafened for one turn.
She can't see out of both eyes now.
Do I complete tying her up then?
Laina, you are you are not blinded or deafened. It's certainly concussive. So you grab a hold of her, and if you'd like, you can grapple her because she's obviously not letting you tie her up.
Yeah.
So it's a strength check v strength check.
Okay.
So she got a 15 plus 1.
Oh, I failed it. Then I got a 13.
Okay, so she shoves back at you and takes a few steps back. This camouflage spell, kind of like a chameleon, still rippling across her skin. Her face not entirely gone yet. Her legs not entirely gone yet. However, you kind of came at her. She was moving back. She extends her hand towards her staff, expecting it to kind of fly towards her, but it does not. She frowns, kind of puzzled for a moment, reaches her hand out again, but it does not.
Grab it.
And you kind of are looking at the two, and like you're obviously looking at her. She looks panicked for a moment, the spell almost complete, and then she...
I want to reach my hand out as she does it too.
Okay, cool.
Can I use my magic? I don't know if I can just pull my magic at it,
Okay, so you reach your hand out towards the staff. Would you so you're not going to use any of your spells, right? You're just going to kind of will it to come towards you?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a d20. At advantage, please.
Okay. Oh, that's good that it's advantage. No, it's not. It doesn't matter for me.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 7.
Okay,
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Plus your spellcasting modifier.
Oh, my spell casting? Well, that's much better then. It would be
Math.
9, 10,
Is it
12.
over? Is it over 10?
Yeah, it'd be a 14.
Ah, that's perfect. Yeah, there you go.
No, perfect's 20. But
So the staff flies towards you as you fight with the druid over the staff, and it flies towards you and lands very neatly, kind of thrusting very neatly into your hand.
now you're a druid.
And I'm gonna yell at her to stop and
Okay,
point
so-
the staff at her.
You point the staff at her, yell at her to stop. You're gonna like intimidate, or what are you looking to do? here?
Yeah.
Roll me an
because I just
intimidation
want her to
check.
stop.
Iron Wolf.
Fuck, can I use different dice? Can I roll and use different dice, please?
Iron Wolf.
No, you're Rogar.
What is my intimidation? I think I have no, I don't. I rolled a 3. I'm just panicking because now I have the staff. Oh my god, stop!
So is she scared?
Sorry, what was the roll? Was it a 3?
I rolled a 3. No.
Okay, so she is not scared by you, but rather scared that you now possess the staff. She looks, the last part of her body to disappear under the camouflage spell is her face. She looks kind of horrified that you have it, shocked, and also angry, but the last thing you see is her face turning away and her running into the woods.
Okay,
Bye.
I'm not gonna chase her. Whatever, I have her staff.
Say hi to the children.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Laina-
pretend that I've had the staff the whole time.
Laina, congratulations on defeating the druid, whose name you do not know, but also her deadly blossom. For the deadly blossom, you are going to gain 2,200 experience points.
Okay.
Whoa.
And for defeating the druid, not to the death, but rather in defending and defeating in the sense of overpowering her, you are going to gain 1,600 experience points.
Whoa. That's more than I got all season.
Would have been more if you had defeated her, like defeated, captured, and defeated, killed, but nonetheless a very cool scene.
Second
Did I get
place.
any experience for getting a new tool?
The new tool? No, you did not get any experience for getting the new tool.
What about making friends with Irena?
She's not
Are you friends with Irena?
She's concussed on the ground right now, screaming.
I just called her Irena, so probably not.
Fievel.
I just called her Rena. Or yes, because it's like a short form, right? Oh yeah, me and Reen, we go way back.
The shorter the name, the better friends you
I
are.
don't have any like female friends, so I don't know if she wants to be. I do still want to ask her though, because in the last episode she said I'd be honored to go with you, but I didn't roll an insight on that, and I should have, because I don't know if that was
definitely
sarcasm.
something to discuss when she's not blinded or deafened. But yeah, so
Answer me now!
2200
Just shaking her.
2,200 experience points for defeating the Deadly Blossom, 1,600 for defeating the Druid in combat. Laina, congratulations on your success here. Super cool stuff.
Good job.
Do you want to know what's
job.
funny? Do you want to know something? Is that I asked you specifically if it was going to be more than 4,000, and it was 4,000 experience that you just gave me. So
Was it 4,000?
yeah, because you gave me 200 experience for saying the Iron Wolf, Iron Fist.
Oh, well, that was before I knew about the 4,000, and I just thought that was funny. Okay.
But I think I leveled up again.
Yeah? Awesome stuff. Cool.
Holy shit.
Oh, maybe not.
Just catching up to
No,
Maybe
I don't
not.
think I did actually.
Because I should be at the same XP as me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that-
F.
Yeah. We need better pay.
I'm close though. I'm
I should
very
be like
close.
level 8.
Yeah. How come the woman of this podcast gets more than us?
Man.
We only get 75% of the pay.
it's because you.
We only get
It's
75%
because you
of the
flood
pay.
my inbox
You guys are
with
getting
dick
paid?
pics. That's why I don't give you guys more XP. It's because all I see
hate
is
this
pictures of
last
Sal's
feeling.
Because you
dick.
give me dick pics? Is that what you just said?
You want me to send ass pics? I will.
Oh,
I will also send you Sav's ass pics.
I want to send ass pics.
Okay, so nearly a minute goes by, Irena rubbing her eye and kind of shaking her head as her ears are ringing. She looks at you,
her.
kind of blinking furiously, and says, "Did she get away?"
Yeah. I got her staff, though.
She looks at you and says, "Yeah, be careful with that." She kind of rubbing her eye. Sorry, what'd you say?
Sav, like, points the staff at her and yells, "Die!"
She sheaths her sword and walks over the vines and the body of the deadly blossom and picks up her crossbow, putting it in its position on her back. She turns back towards you, shaking her hair out of her face, and she says, "Well, I think we learned a few things."
Yeah. But I want to take samples of the Venus flytrap before we go, of Blossom.
Okay. So she walks over to you as you're kind of, I'm assuming you're going to lop off a couple of its teeth, maybe a vial of its poison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, can you roll me 2 survival checks, please?
God damn it.
That's your
Give me
wisdom.
new dice again.
We're running out of dice.
Yeah.
Noah, stop making me roll for things.
No, you're right. You should just be able to do whatever you want whenever you want.
2. So the first one's a strong 5.
Nice.
The second one, is a 17 plus 3. It's an unnatural 20.
You gotta talk
Okay,
into this
so
the
you...
Unnatural
mic.
20.
The other side. The one with the label on it.
I've been trying to point it at me this whole time and it never works.
So
It's
you
an
stab
unnatural
yourself
20 for
with
that
one of the
second roll.
fangs of the deadly blossom, dealing yourself 10 poison damage for your 5.
I'm damn. Not just kidding.
Dad.
But you get a full vial of the poison, so that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Minus 10 damage?
That was 10 poison damage, yeah. Irena puts her hand on your shoulder and pulls you back from the plant, as obviously the poison, you get a little jittery, right? There's pain in your arm, you're at disadvantage. She pulls out a small knife from her side and a small vial, because, you know, they're demon hunters, you know, monstrosity hunters, they know what's up. She grabs with, so she goes towards one of the teeth with her knife, lopping it off and catching it in the vial with a nice 19. God, my girl. Irena would be my girl.
I want to be your
man.
girl. I roll 2s.
I will too if I can roll better. So she lops off one of the teeth of the deadly blossom, catching it in the vial, and then she hands it over to you.
Okay, I store that in my backpack.
Cool. She looks to you and she says, "Are you all right to walk?"
Yeah. Are you?
No.
I say loudly. Are you?
What?
She kind of inches back, like kind of sways back from you as you yell at her, and she says, "Yes, I'm fine to walk." She turns from the clearing and begins to head back towards Ryberry.
Right before I start heading back, can I take note of if that girl's footprints were similar to the other footprints that we saw earlier? Or
Ooh,
if they
good
were
question.
around the other footprints earlier?
So, if you'd like, you can investigate her footprints. Roll me a d20.
I'm going to call out to Irena before I roll here, just in case, and say,
me a pep talk.
look for look for some of her footprints and see if they're similar to the ones that we saw at the beginning of this trip. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to pick up this dice. Oh my god, Rogar, your dice!
Rigged.
Don't tell him. You said it's a perception?
Yes.
So this is above a 20. It's a
Nice.
22.
So you find a couple of her footprints very easily. They're very slender and petite, and they don't look misshapen or deformed in any way, just like a human woman's bare feet Those are the
These are
footprints.
exactly the same as the ones we saw earlier.
They are not
Get the molding
exactly
kit.
the same. They are not exactly the same. Tyson, come on, man.
I'm writing it down. Exactly.
Damn it.
It's the same footprint.
Okay. So, Irena looks back at you as you're inspecting the footprint, and she kind of calls out, "It's different. It's normal."
Yeah, but are they found around where we saw the other footprints? Like, are there a mixture of footprints?
You can check again, but I didn't see them before.
Okay.
So, heading back, the walk back seems to take a little bit longer than the journey out, and as you guys approach your area where you made the casting of the footprint, Irena gingerly pokes at it, determining that it's indeed dried. She picks it up, brushes off some of the dirt, and puts it in her bag.
Okay.
She stands and does a quick sweep around, and she says, "That footprint wasn't here."
Okay. Did she just... Yeah, she just checked again. It's not here. So,
Correct.
yeah. Okay, cool.
So, she looks to you and says, "I think it's time we return now." She looks up at the sky and she says, "God, it's almost noon."
All right. I'm going to walk back with her. As we're walking back, can I ask her about the honorable thing, though?
Okay. So, can you roleplay it for me and then roll me a d20?
No, I'm not going to roleplay. So...
What's up, girl?
So I'll just say, thank you for coming out with me and investigating this with me and fighting honorably with me.
That word.
Okay, so she looks to you and she says, "I wouldn't have it any other way."
I
Screw
noticed...
McCain and whatever that guy's name
I'm not
is.
actually a lesbian. That was a joke when I said that in an earlier episode.
Damn it. Damn it. Dobrik.
That's why she's not interested in Rogar, though. He's not feminine enough.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
I need an eye patch.
What does that have to do with being a female? You gotta tuck
All
more.
women have one eye.
I'm gonna say, I noticed earlier when we were volunteering to leave, you did say that it would be an honor to come out with me. Why would it be honorable? I thought we were on opposite sides at the beginning of our interactions.
Well, you know, girls always stay together.
Shut up, Rogar.
She looks to you and she says, "Opposite sides. Yes, perhaps we may be on opposite sides. But we are judged, are we not? By the power and the might of our enemies. You and your wolves took over Ryberry, something not easily done. And I believe we put up a strong effort. No one was the clear victor, and so, of course, I'd be honored by it."
Good talk.
I'm gonna kind of half smile and be like, I think we were clearly the winner, but I get it.
Tyson was the winner.
In like a joking way. Like it's a
Fight.
joking, like, haha, wink nudge. Huh.
She smiles and she says,
Doesn't get.
"Had that horror not come up from the well, I'm not sure how well your iron wolves would have fared against our knights. Plus, you didn't seem to see a few of our archers on the far wall. So,
Oh!
I didn't see them either.
And you have yet to meet Dobrik.
sound like?
stop calling him that. I'll start docking XP.
No! I know his name's Damek.
It's all good. It's all good. No worries.
Not that guy.
Irena looks to you and says, "Just because you acquire your wealth and earn your keep in a unlawful way doesn't mean that you aren't a formidable warrior. You put the boys in their place, certainly."
To find the boys.
They challenge. They challenge the most, but it's the best when they give in.
Yes, I think I'm still working on Tyson McKay, but Rogar seems very puppyish.
Shut up.
I'll never give in. Tyson's gay now.
I think it's interesting that your team has not adopted him yet. He's got a lot of power that's not come to the surface yet, and I'm surprised no one has picked up on it yet. He's someone that will fill into a position nicely once he grows up a little bit and matures.
What am I, a puzzle piece?
But that's the difference between us, Laina, the wolves and the knights. There's more to us than just pure power and sheer force. If a knight is not brave, courageous, kind-hearted, but also strong of will and power, then he cannot be a part of our order. We stand against some of the most fearsome things known to this plane. Creatures that are made of pure fear, or pure terror. Creatures that play at the hearts of men. And someone like Tyson, even though he is powerful, and certainly desired because of it, could never be one of us. He would give in too quickly to things that would... He would give in too quickly to things that we face every day.
Hey, Tyson, you want to be evil? Sure.
People grow into those traits, though. I can't say that I have always been brave. I can't say that I have always been at my skill level, but that comes with age. It comes with experience. And it's something that we pride ourselves on as the Iron Wolves, and that's a big part of why we stick together as a team, to make sure that everybody is learning those skills. But to each their own.
I suppose we'll have to disagree on that. You're either born brave or you're not. You're taught bravery or you're not. And if you believe every single member of your troop became brave over time, perhaps it's true. But I look at Tyson McKay and I'm just not sure that I see someone who's able to, or even willing, to be brave.
How many times have I sacrificed myself for you people?
Okay, but Laina, this is great stuff. I'm going to give you 250 experience points for kind of delving into the relationship with Irena there. Some good stuff. Good gameplay, good role-playing. And you guys make it back to town. The gates to Ryberry open and creak before you. The townspeople, the guard, the Iron Wolves, and the Knights of the New Moon all working together on still making those reparations, those repairs to the city. And Irena looks to you and says, "To Wolfhelm then, and to Lyric, I suppose, and we'll discuss what we found."
I think we should visit Wilmond first.
Oh.
She looks to you and says, "I suppose that might be best. Wolfhelm's probably down in the well right now, and Dularic is, well, not here. Perhaps we'll share with Wilmond."
Where is he?
Okay.
I'm in the well.
All right. So you guys head into the guild hall of the Knights of the New Moon. It's about midday, and neither the mysterious sorcerer Vel nor Tyson McKay are up and about. And the guild hall is very quiet. Irena marches back towards Wilmond's library, opening the doors. He is currently up on the ladder, pulling out a text, and looks down at the both of you and says, "Ah, you're back."
You're still drunk.
He kind of shakes a finger at you, and he says, "Me, never." And he slides down the ladder quite agilely, and we're going to have him roll it. It's not his first time doing it. Oh yeah, sweet 19. You boys got it. He slides down the ladder very quickly and comes to kind of like a hopping stop, and then stands in front of Irena and holds out his hand and says, "What did you bring me?"
Nice.
A crisp high five.
A crisp high five. She pulls her bag off of one shoulder and kind of pulls it around to the front, pulling out the hardened footprint she hands it over to him, and he looks at it, and then kind of raises an eyebrow, walks over to the sunlight where he begins to like blow on it and brush away any of the dirt and stuff, and he goes, "Oh, that is interesting." He places it down on the windowsill and then says, "Anything else?" And Irena recounts the tale of meeting the druid in the forest and the plant that she conjured, as well as the staff which you now possess, and her camouflaged escape, as well as what she said about there being someone coming and looking to retrieve something.
Can I mention that she also had 2 black eyes, green skin, no hair?
So Wilmond, at the mention of this figure, began very quickly scribbling with pen and ink all the detailed traits about her. He pauses at certain points of your guys' story and listens intently, and then continues to write. And after a few minutes, when you're done, he takes the piece of parchment, walks over to one of the walls, which has it's to the left of his desk if you're looking at the desk from the doorway. And he takes a knife and stabs the piece of parchment into the wall. Okay. He then turns back towards the both of you, and he says, "Anything else?"
Does he want I'll show him the poison vial that I have, but I don't think he'll want that really.
Okay, so he looks at both of them and actually does take them. He nods at you and then puts them over beside the footprint. For bringing Wilman back information pertaining to the cause and pertaining to the discovery of what's going on, you are going to gain 500 experience points.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting part of this gameplay, is anyone who brings Wilman back information, material, or anything relating to their tasks and to what's going on, they're each going to gain 500 XP, kind of as a flat bonus.
Tyson's gonna bring back a bunch of stuff.
I don't want him to take the staff, but he can definitely look at it, sketch it if he wants.
Yeah, so he looks at the staff and says, "That's of no interest to me. I've seen staffs before."
Staffs that choose their holder?
There are many magical items. Where this druid friend of yours got this one is no concern of mine.
Okay.
Now, if it was a unique staff, something that, had a history in pages of texts, then yeah, I mean, that would be useful, but this doesn't have any characteristics, right? I mean, it's made of wood. It chose its person. I mean, I can kind of look for it and see if it's got a history if you want.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, then I will let you know if I find your mysterious staff in the pages of Norian's history.
We can talk about it over drinks later tonight.
Ooh.
So he kind of looks up at you and he goes, "Drinks?"
Never mind.
Fuck you.
He does not remember.
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
But he's just asking. He just says drinks. Like, it just sounds like you're being forward with him, right? Because he doesn't remember because he was super drunk.
Okay, then I'll just remain confident. You've had a drink before, haven't you?
Ooh, nice. He looks at you and he goes, "I've been known to dabble."
Okay, so are we going?
Okay, so he looks up at the windowsill and he says, "Do you mind if we meet later, like around 4? I just have a couple of things I need to do."
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
so he
good,
kind of
I
smiles
nod.
at you, Irena, kind of politely looking away, but you can kind of see a smirk on her face, and she says, "Well, Wilman, that will be all. And it is always a pleasure," he says, as he kind of takes this deep, sarcastic bow towards Irena, who then walks away. Anything that you'd like to do?
No, that's good.
Excellent. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are going to leave things off for the evening. I think it's a great time to take a break and to, reflect on all that's happened. So we had some big stuff going on to recap. Laina and Irena went into the woods. They uncovered some footprints, found a druid who fought them, conjured up a plant, talked about some mysterious figure, a man, or a he, as she referred to, who was coming here to retrieve something. But they weren't able to capture her. She fled. However, her staff chose Laina instead of her as its new rightful owner, so that's super cool. And then they came back, expressed all that had happened with Wilmond, and that is where we find ourselves. So, do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from the players before we end things off?
Wild ride.
Wild ride.
Can you explain again what the staff looks like? Is it, you said it was just brown, like just wood, or does it have like anything kind of at the head of it, or any engravings, or is it literally just a stick?
Okay, so the staff
just
is made of wood. It is thinner at the bottom and kind of not fluted at the end, but there's kind of like a knot of wood at the top, and has odd bits of what look to be almost kind of like roots sticking from the top of it. Along it, it is cracked all the way from its base to its top. Okay, so it's a full like 5.5, 6 foot tall. No, it is 4.5 to 5 foot tall staff, and the cracks aren't like jagged, or they're not going to cause splinters, but what the staff does is, like what the druid did with it, is that energy kind of travels from your point of contact with the staff all the way to the tip of it, where it then casts from, right?
Okay.
And all that you know of it now is that it seems to thrum while it's in your hand, as though contented to be there.
And is it like a pot? Like, obviously, like, I feel like you're saying it's a positive thrum, that it's happy to be in my hand, but is it like almost a dominating thrum, or is it just like a purr, if that makes sense?
No, it's
like, notice me, I'm here type thing, or just, okay, it's good.
No, it's I'm letting you know what the vibe you're getting from it is, and it's like a contented, like you almost feel its contentment to be there.
Okay.
Yeah. As you investigate it more, and you can do that on your downtime, right? On your long rest, or your short rest, I should say, is you can kind of investigate the staff and see more about it.
Okay.
But if there's nothing else, I think that's all from me, folks.
Is McKay gonna die?
McKay gonna die?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out when our boys head down the well. So that's a good point, ladies and gentlemen. we are going to be having a super exciting episode next session, where Wolfhelm, Rogar, and the 2 Iron Wolf boys head down into the well to clear the contamination that's there. So that's going to be super fun. So be sure to listen into that. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on Podbean, for some cool information about Norian, and our store, which is linked on Podbean there as well. Whether it was morning, evening, noon, or night, I would like to say thank you very much for listening to the Dicey D20. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Hi.
No.
No, bye.